In 2026, the highest-paying roles in the AI industry are shifting toward the front lines of enterprise deployment. This chart shows the year-over-year growth in job postings for the Forward Deployed Engineer title across major tech companies. Demand has spiked by 800%. The industry's largest labs are driving this demand. OpenAI and Anthropic are currently raising billions of dollars, specifically to fund their own enterprise deployment ventures. To staff these new divisions, companies are offering compensation packages ranging from $350,000 to $750,000 for senior deployment talent. This hiring spree exists because high-performance models have become readily accessible via API, turning raw technical capability into a commodity. With the models themselves widely available, the market's primary value has shifted to the engineers who can integrate them into idiosyncratic business workflows. When standard software engineers see a job description labeled customer-facing, they often assume the role is a standard solutions architect or a sales engineer. Solutions architects are primarily tasked with designing high-level technical blueprints before a contract is signed. Sales engineers focus on demonstrating what the product could theoretically do to close the deal. Forward-deployed engineers, by contrast, actually write production-grade code. They are embedded deep inside the client's organization to build the final, functioning system. If that custom deployment breaks at 2 a.m., a customer support team does not get the alert. The forward-deployed engineer is the one who has to log in and fix it. Pre-sales roles exist to eliminate theoretical risk during a pitch. Forward-deployed engineers carry the burden of keeping a live system running in a hostile production environment. We see the difference between these roles by looking at how each interacts with core technology. The traditional software engineer builds a high-performance engine inside a pristine, highly controlled laboratory. The sales engineer operates in a showroom, highlighting how that engine performs under ideal test conditions. The forward-deployed engineer takes that pristine engine, drops it into a battered chassis, and tunes the fuel lines while navigating unpredictable off-road terrain. In the real world, that off-road terrain consists of legacy enterprise resource planning systems, strict SOC 2 compliance blockers, and massive, poorly maintained data joins. This hostile environment deployment model was pioneered by Palantir. Embedding engineers directly into client environments drove their dominance across both government and commercial sectors. The defining difficulty of this role lies in navigating undocumented client constraints, rather than the raw algorithmic complexity of the code itself. Industry data provides a clear mathematical breakdown of what an FDE actually does week to week. This matrix illustrates the workload comparison. 75% of their time is highly technical, writing production code. The remaining 25% is strategy, scoping problems, designing architectures, and navigating security hurdles like client VPCs and IAM policies. While a traditional software engineer relies on structured, sprint-based predictability, an FDE schedule changes hourly based on live client needs. Because these engineers build their custom code directly alongside enterprise software licenses, companies view them as direct revenue generators, not standard R&D cost centers. Preparing for this role requires a specific technical roadmap. Grinding standard algorithmic challenges will not get you past the screening process. You need a deep understanding of cloud platforms like AWS, as well as modern data orchestration tools like Snowflake and Airflow. For AI-focused deployments in 2026, the baseline requirement includes hands-on experience building retrieval-augmented generation architectures and integrating vector databases. This creates a T-shaped profile. The vertical column represents your deep capability to string together complex system integrations. At the very top sits agentic orchestration, mastering frameworks like LangGraph and specialized evaluation protocols to execute multi-step enterprise actions. Mastering these specific integration frameworks is mandatory. Enterprise clients demand autonomous systems capable of executing sensitive, high-stakes tasks without hallucinating. To prove you can handle these systems, your portfolio must demonstrate real-world constraints. Basic to-do applications or thin wrappers around an API will not pass the technical screen. The ideal showcase is an end-to-end AI agent syncing to a live database. It needs active webhooks, strict rate limits, and robust API retry logic. This chart shows the second half of the T-shaped profile, the broad horizontal bar. This represents your soft skills, specifically your capacity for technical translation, radical ownership, and executive communication. Technical translation means explaining to a Fortune 500 executive exactly why their strict data residency requirements just forced a total rewrite of a requested feature. Raw technical brilliance holds zero value in this role if you cannot articulate and defend your architectural compromises to the non-technical executives funding the project. This combination of deep engineering and high-level client management makes the forward deployed engineer path a singular career accelerator. By owning high-stakes projects from initial scoping all the way through final deployment, these engineers effectively operate as startup chief technology officers embedded inside global product companies. The internal promotion ladder rapidly moves successful engineers from senior to principal and eventually up to vice president of product or deployment. Externally, elite technology firms frequently hire former deployment engineers directly into senior product management roles, entirely bypassing the traditional software engineering track. This preferential hiring exists because these engineers possess unfiltered product intelligence. They witness the exact points of software failure in the real world, rather than relying on sanitized data from a research department. The ultimate exit opportunity for this role involves bypassing the corporate ladder entirely to become a startup founder. This chart visualizes the track record of the Palantir Mafia. Alumni from their deployment teams have founded over 111 companies, raising a collective $11.6 billion in capital. This talent pipeline has produced industry-leading tech companies, most notably defense contractor Anduril Industries. But this career path will shatter engineers who prefer to hide in a clean, perfectly organized coding environment. For builders who crave complete project ownership, thrive in ambiguity, and want the ability to drive direct market revenue, the forward-deployed engineer is the most powerful role in the AI era.